Hello, everybody. This is a life update, a book update, and almost everything update from me, Sally Britton, author of Regency Romance. I am so excited to talk to you about all the things going on right now, and I know there are a few people who have been asking me for updates, so hopefully this will answer some questions. First thing to talk about, of course, is my new release, Lady Ivy and the Irishman. You guys, isn't this cover beautiful? Isn't it absolutely? It's my favorite color, actually. It's mostly my favorite color. I have a lot of things that are this color in my life. So I am just absolutely so excited that it is out and it is doing well. In the first week that it was available on Amazon, we hit bestseller, our new best-selling new release. That's the correct way to say it. Best-selling new release in both the Regency romance category and the clean and wholesome romance category. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for buying. Thank you for borrowing on KU. And for those of you who went through and did the early sale on my website and got it direct from me and got to read it early, thank you. Y'all, this has just been a fantastic release, especially considering how late in the series it is. Oftentimes, authors, the more books you release in the series, the lower and lower the excitement is per book. But I feel like everyone was really stoked for this, and I'm just grateful, so grateful. Thank you so much. It's done so well. We broke the top 500 top books on Amazon for a few hours. I checked a few minutes ago, and we are now in the top 700, which is still a good place to be when you consider the millions of books for sale on Amazon. We are in the top 700. Is that exciting? I am just so happy for Teague and Ivy. I'm just going to do a little dance. Okay. For those asking, yes, there is going to be an audiobook. It will be narrated by Jessica Elisa Boyd, who has done the rest of the series for me. And I am so excited to hear her do another Irish accent, and this time for Teague. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so amazing. But that won't be until end of July or possibly even all the way up until mid-August, because Jessica is a very talented thespian and she is busy performing this summer. So I got on her schedule as soon as I could, and I am excited when she finally gets around to me. So it'll be fantastic. I also want to remind everybody that there is a bonus scene. It's really short. It's only 4 pages. It's not essential to the story, but it's snuggly, cuddly, swoony. So if you want that bonus scene, you need to sign up for my newsletter. And you can do that usually by clicking a link in my bio, wherever it is that this video posts. There should be a bio somewhere. You should be able to click Sally Britton's newsletter somewhere, and then you'll receive it, and then you'll get to read it, and it will be cute and swoony for you. So that's that. And I'm so happy that it's doing so well. Now let's talk about current projects. Ooh, how did I turn that one off? Ooh, there we go. I'm learning all kinds of new things doing my video today. So currently, I am working on the 6th Cleaver Castle romance book. This is a book that comes right after Lady Ivy and the Irishman. And spoiler, somebody mute it if you don't want to know who the couple's about. But I mean, you're going to know, right, as soon as you see the book. But it's going to be about Sterling, the guardsman, and Lady Juniper, Ivy's sister. So we are excited about that in the Sally Britton world. Sterling is just a doll, and he shows up so many times in Lady Ivy and the Irishman. And my joke is that he kept coming and showing up on set for days that he wasn't needed, so we just used him anyway. I kind of imagine that happening sometimes in my head, characters just showing up while I'm trying to record a story. But that's what's coming. That's what I'm most excited about right now. There is no title for it because I'm trying to keep up with the whole alliteration thing. And Lady Juniper and Sterling, I'm having a hard time getting their names and titles in a way that I like the alliteration of it. So, author things, none of you need to worry about that. I'm seriously so happy. And like I said, I'm 1/3 of the way through writing it. So that's one project. Another project that I'm working on right now is getting The Rumpled Gentleman ready to be a full-length novel release. For those of you who have been following me for a bit, you know about the anthology that I was in. Oh, I have one right here. Oh, it's a beast. Look at this. Look how huge this book is. Magic and Miracles. So this anthology has been an absolute dream. It was so much fun to work on a story for this, but I had to make it novella length, this story. And the problem is I don't do short very well. So I wound up with more than enough words to make a novel. Now, A novel is any story that is over about 50,000 words. Anything under that is considered usually a novella. So there are 27,000 words published in the anthology, and I have double that to share. I am super excited. There is an meet cute that is not in the novella. There is a lot of interesting chapters that I had to leave out, but it was fun to take everything that I cut, put it back in, sew it together, and make a novel that will most likely be a first book in a new series of Victorian fantasies. So that is something that I'm really excited about. I'm hoping to release it mid or end of July as a full-length novel. So stay tuned for that. I'm so excited. It was such a fun book to write. The other thing that I'm working on, and it is slow going, is Return to Inglewood Book 2. This is the series that comes after the Inglewood series, where we're following the next generation around. And book 2 focuses on one of Neil's children and one of Silas's children. If you know anything about the original series, you know those two men, Neil and Silas, didn't get along very well, but their children are getting along maybe a little bit too well. So I'm excited to share it. It's been really slow because there are some deep themes involved that I am struggling to write. So it's going to happen. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Something that people are asking about also is the Devoted Hearts series, formerly known as the Branches of Love series. It was the first series that I wrote. I am re-releasing each book, and I am releasing them wide instead of keeping them all locked up on Amazon. So they'll be available everywhere eventually. I am having a hard time with this because these are stories that are written that are mostly finished. There are things I want to add and change and do differently with them, and I have beautiful new covers that I'm so excited to share with everybody. It's just slow going. It's just slow going because it's editing, and editing is my least favorite thing. But they are happening, and I will keep everybody updated. When I know something, you will know something. So there's that. Summer plans, we need to talk about those. I am so excited because I am going to spend most of June in England. That's right. I will be in York, I will be in Grantham, and I will be in London. I will be there from June 10th through June 30th. If you are in that area as an author or one of my listeners or one of my readers, please reach out because it's totally possible that we could meet up for tea or lunch or a walk in the park, maybe a walk through a museum. I don't know what you're doing, but I have very few, set in stone plans for this time period, and I would be happy to say hi and hang out with you because we all love books in the Regency and England, right? Right. So super thrilled about that. One of the main reasons I'm going is because I'm attending the Self-Publishing Show Live Author Conference, and Spotify is sponsoring me, which is really wonderful and flattering. The people at Spotify have been absolutely just fantastic to work with in terms of sharing my audiobooks with a broader audience. So if you didn't know, you can listen to my books on Spotify. If you have Spotify Premium, you get so many hours of free audiobook listening, free. It's included in Premium, but so many hours of listening per month. So a lot of people have been using those hours to listen to my novellas because they only take up about 3 hours of that time. So check me out on Spotify if you haven't yet. Follow me over there. Also, I have an account where I share music lists, sometimes music lists that are inspired by my stories, sometimes music lists that help me write. So if you're a Spotify person and you're interested, go find me on Spotify. I'd love to hang out with you there too. Why not? I'm everywhere. Let's do everything together. People often ask what my favorite things are and what I'm up to. This is a little bit funny to talk about because I'm a Regency romance author and my books fall very firmly into the sweet, no steam category. Closed door is another term for it. I don't know what you call it. My characters don't get freaky in the sheets on page. That's what it comes down to. And it isn't because of, I feel like I always need to clarify this. It isn't because I have an issue with books like that. I read a lot of books like that. I have an issue with writing it because I blush like a crazy person when I try to write it. I also like providing options for people who may not be comfortable with reading those things on page for various reasons. Sometimes it's religious, sometimes it's past traumas, sometimes it's just because they get the ick. I love writing what I write. So anyway, this game that I'm talking about is not at all in the steam category that I write in. I would say it contains a lot of steam, spice, mature themes, but this game is groundbreaking in so many ways. If you have played this, if you are playing this, and if you also read my books or listen to my books, please reach out. I would love to talk to you because I am fangirling so hard over this whole thing. The writing in this video game, which people don't often think video game and writing go together, but the writing in this video game is so phenomenal that it is inspiring all kinds of people to do all kinds of crazy things with their lives. So many people are, for example, leaving toxic relationships. So many people are recognizing the trauma in their past and working through it while playing the game. So many people are playing the game and then realizing, hey, I might need to talk to somebody about this, and seeking out professional help. This game is amazing. It has won so many awards. It swept so many of the awards for 2023 for the gaming industry, for voice acting, for writing. It has just been incredible to play through this. We love this game so much at my house. Yes, I am a terrible mother, and I let a couple of my older children play it. We own it on the PS5, we own it on the Xbox, and we have it on 2 of our PCs. So this game is incredible. And what I especially love about the writing for this game is just how nuanced it is, how important themes of trust are, themes of growth, boundaries, consent. There are a lot of things in this game that make it amazing. It is an RPG fantasy game based in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, and it's incredible. That's mostly what I have to say about it, except maybe one more thing. Larian Studios, the group that produced and created this game, recently opened a new office in Warsaw and posted a job for writers. I applied. I have a successful author career, but if I could work for a team like that, and help to develop stories like this that have had such a huge impact the world over, I would do it in a heartbeat. I do not think I'm going to even get a phone call from them because they will have thousands of applicants from all over the world, and people who are more suitable, most likely, or have more experience writing for video games in the gaming industry. But it was a thrill just to send in my resume. So that's how much of a fangirl I am for this thing. And like I said, if you're playing, please contact me. I am following so many Baldur's Gate 3 accounts right now. It's ridiculous, because I can't get enough of it. It's amazing. It's amazing. So let's talk about something that's a little bit more authory, a little bit more readery. We'll talk about my reading list. It may surprise you to know, considering what I just revealed is my favorite video game, that I don't read a ton of Regency these days. Most of the Regency reading I do is for critique partners who send things a chapter at a time, and we go through and we help each other to make our stories better. That's the extent of my Regency reading, unless it's nonfiction for research. So let's talk about what I have been reading. Most recently, I finished reading the series That's Paranormal by Camilla Evergreen. The most recent book, I think, is called something like The Monster of My Nightmares. Is that what it's called? Let me check really quick because it's good, and I want to tell you what it's called. Falling in Love with the Man of My Nightmares, a sweet romantic comedy. Like, it is so good. Everything Camilla writes is good, but it's her paranormal series that I have fallen the most in love with. And this is because there are elements of fantasy, but also her heroines are neurodiverse and they're beautiful people. And her heroes are supportive and kind, even though they might be dream eaters or boogeymen or fairy princes or shapeshifters. The steam level, I would say, is, it's closed door. There's some lovely kissing scenes, but I have loved these books and the messages that they have. Camilla is a huge proponent of mental health. She is a huge proponent of being yourself. If you have read Lady Ivy and the Irishman and you loved Teague and how supportive he was of Ivy, I think you have Camilla in part to thank for how Teague was written, because I was writing him while I was reading her books. And Camilla and I have been messaging and emailing back and forth. I now consider her a friend. She is amazing. She is kind and thoughtful, and she says incredible things. They just pop out of her mouth, and I just have to sit there and think about them for a minute. So her series has been fun and delightful. I have giggled through it. I have teared up through it. They are light and joyful. Go read them. If you want to read contemporary romance, if you don't mind reading contemporary romance, I would say these skew more contemporary than they do fantasy, but there are paranormal elements. But this series is so good. And I think there are a lot of people who need the messages that are threaded through this series. One of the biggest ones is be yourself and find the people who accept you for that. So that's a good one. Okay. What I am currently reading is Calamity, the first book in the Knights of Eternity series. And I'm not going to say this completely right, but I'm doing my best, by Rachel Nee Chirk. It's Irish, guys. I'm doing my best. I reached out to Rachel just a little bit to tell her that I'm reading her book and enjoying it. The entire reason I picked up her book, I'm on chapter 6, by the way, and things are starting to get good. But the entire reason I picked up her book is because she was one of the writers of Baldur's Gate. I do not have a problem. I am not obsessed. But Rachel's book is a YA fantasy, and I am super enjoying it. It's about, so far, somebody who gets sucked into a video game and the world of that video game. And I am just so enjoying it. It's kind of a rocky beginning in terms of what the poor character is going through, but I'm so excited. So I'm really enjoying that. That is what I'm currently reading. I will let y'all know how it goes. A book that I am most looking forward to is Hopeless Necromantic, written by Shiloh Breyer. Shiloh is a beautiful individual. We've been messaging privately just because I started seeing her videos that she posted on TikTok. She's on Instagram too, as @shiloh.breyer. And she is making incredible illustrations and animatics for the characters in her book to kind of give readers a feeling for what these characters are like. She's also been sharing snippets of the story. Go check it out. I am so excited for this book. This is the book I am most looking forward to this year. And you've probably never even heard of it unless you were fortunate like me to stumble upon Shiloh already. It is so good, just from the little bits and pieces that we're getting. It is going to be a romance. She has told people that there are adult themes, but there is no sex on the page. So if that's something that you need to be aware of, there you go. But there's going to be magic. There's going to be necromancy. There's going to be fighting. And there's going to be all kinds of beautiful moments. I'm just excited. I'm just really excited. Really, really. Shiloh, if you're watching this, I'm really excited. No, she knows. I've told her several times. It is getting warm in here. Excuse me while I live in Oklahoma, y'all, and it has been raining all day, so the humidity is playing havoc with everything. Look at this hair. That's okay, though. It's okay. We're going to get through this. We're going to finish this video strong by talking about, again, I don't have a problem, but I am going to share a video in a day or two, maybe today. It depends on when I get to it and how quickly YouTube can upload it. That is a treat that I got for myself. If you do not know what Cameo is, it is awesome. It is a website that you can go and you can search for talent for people who are actors or social media people or people who read books, all kinds of things. But you can get personal messages from them for yourself or for other people. For instance, one of my kids' favorite games is Red Dead Redemption 2. The guy who does the voice for the main character for Red Dead is on Cameo. So there's a very good chance my son will receive a cameo from him for his next birthday because I am that kind of mother. But I was really excited after I finished this last book, and I wanted to treat myself to something fun. So I reached out to a favorite actor who has been in many awesome roles and who may voice one of my favorite Baldur's Gate 3 characters. And I asked him if he would record himself reading Captain Wentworth's letter to Anne Elliot from the Jane Austen novel Persuasion. And he did. Yes, I paid for it, but he did it. And I am excited. I will be sharing that just because I think it is the most beautiful love letter in fiction. It's so beautiful. It's so full of yearning and hope and want. And it's groveling a little bit, asking for forgiveness, but it's also just the yearning in it. Yearning is one of the most beautiful things I think I have seen in my favorite novels, is just this desire that is so deep in a person's soul and spirit that they don't just want to be with the person they love. They yearn, they desire, they forget so many of their other wants and needs. So anyway, I asked Tim Downey and he did the Captain Wentworth persuasion letter for me. So I will be sharing that shortly and I am just thrilled with it. So that's something I'm excited about right now. Really, that's all I have to share today. It has been a fantastic video. It has been 20 minutes long and even I grow tired of the sound of my own voice. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, for checking this out, for listening. Leave questions in the comments. I will do my best to answer them wherever this video may find you. So again, thanks. This has been awesome. I'm Sally Britton, and I hope you have a great week with a wonderful book by your side.